Hey and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. Wonderful Arsenal summer signing suggests the best is very much yet to come from him. Arsenal summer signing Kai Havertz has not had the best of starts to life at the club, and he has spoken about his form whilst on international duty. The German international was signed by Arsenal for a reported £65 million from London rivals Chelsea over the transfer window. It has been a good start to the season for the Gunners as they have picked up 3 wins and 1 draw, but arguably they haven't performed at their highest levels. Manager Mikel Arteta has used Havertz in a position he wasn't in as much at Chelsea. He has been playing as a central midfielder at Arsenal, and it hasn't been perfect for him yet. Havertz has looked decent but has missed some big opportunities, and you can tell that he is still adapting to his new position at his new club. Speaking at Germany's press conference ahead of their friendly against Japan, Havertz was asked about his form so far. He said, I have often had a phase and then you often only see the negative. It's not the first club where I start again. Of course, you want to succeed as soon as possible, but I know that there are such phases. I'm trying to approach it relaxed. The wonderful player can shine when at his best, but in England, we have sadly not seen it enough at a consistent level. With Arsenal spending so much on him, Arteta definitely must believe that he can get him to his best sooner rather than later. It has been 4 games so far, so it definitely feels too early to fully judge Havertz yet. Despite this, with Arsenal trying to battle Manchester City for the title, they cannot afford to have players not at their best starting consistently. It's good to see the mindset Havertz has had, and it shows that he has the right mentality to try and get back to his best. Journalist shares what he's now heard about David Raya in Arsenal training. Journalist James McNicholas has suggested that he has heard that the arrival of David Raya has driven standards up amongst the Arsenal goalkeepers in training. McNicholas was speaking on his YouTube channel amid speculation that Mikel Arteta is about to make a change between the sticks. David Raya is still awaiting the chance to make his debut for the Gunners following his surprise summer move to the Emirates. Instead, Aaron Ramsdale has kept his place, and the Englishman has arguably done a decent job. Certainly, there does not appear to have been any glaring errors from the 25-year-old. However, reports from the Daily Mail this week suggested that Arteta is ready to give Raya his chance to be number one at Arsenal after the international break. It does appear to have the potential to be a real gamble. Ramsdale has been outstanding during his time at Arsenal, and many goalkeepers would take exception with someone as good as Raya coming in. But McNicholas has suggested that the Spaniard has had a really positive impact on training since joining. He said, one thing I have heard is that Raya's arrival has really lifted the standard, the intensity of goalkeeper training. I think everybody associated with the club and at the training ground feels like it's been a real positive in that respect. It's bringing the best out of Raya. It's bringing the best out of Ramsdale. It's going to be so interesting to see how Arteta juggles his two goalkeepers. The fact that Arsenal signed Raya on an initial loan does give them an opportunity to easily offload one if things do not work out. But Arteta would not have signed his countryman if he did not want the standards to improve. So, in that sense, he has got what he was looking for. It seems as though things are harmonious right now, but neither Raya or Ramsdale have had a long run out of a team for some time now. But neither Raya or Ramsdale have had a long run out of a team for some time, so the dynamic could change as the campaign continues, but clearly it could be a real masterstroke if Raya and Ramsdale are happy to battle it out in the long term. Fabrizio Romano drops Arsenal transfer update involving Big Friday morning news. Arsenal finally appear to have got a move for Nicolas Pepe over the line. Fabrizio Romano took to X on Thursday evening to declare here we go on the Gunners player's departure. The one-time Arsenal record signing is due for a medical at Trabzonspor on Friday morning, according to the Transfer Insider. Pepe will be signing a short-term deal at the 21-22 Turkish Super League champions until the summer of 2024, added Romano. According to 90 Minute, Trabzonspor tabled a 3 million euros for Pepe. This was the same as what Besiktas offered, but Pepe was in line for a more lucrative contract offer, claimed the report. Apparently, the Arsenal player's preference was to move to the Turkish top flight instead of the Saudi Pro League. The latter league's transfer window has already closed, while the Turkish window remains open until 15 September. It's a shame that Pepe's time at Arsenal is coming to an end in such a way, considering the fanfare around his arrival in 2019. The Ivory Coast international was Arsenal's record signing up until the summer, the Gunners paying Lille around £72 million for him. However, Pepe really hasn't met expectations at Arsenal. His record for the Gunners reads 112 appearances, 27 goals, and 21 assists in all competitions. The £140,000 a week ace has long been surplus to Mikel Arteta's requirements, and so a parting of the ways is the best thing for all parties. Fabrizio Romano says excellent Arsenal player is now being sold alongside Pepe. Although the English transfer window is closed, Arsenal are still able to do business with overseas clubs whose windows remain open. The Gunners are now set to offload Nicolas Pepe, according to multiple reports. However, he is not the only Arsenal player expected to leave soon. Arsenal talent Marcelo Flores has been linked with a move away in recent days. Now, according to Fabrizio Romano, the 19-year-old is set to leave. Romano wrote on X, Marcelo Flores leaves Arsenal as he is set to join Tigers on permanent deal. Here we go, agreement completed. Flores set to travel for medical test, then he will sign 4-year contract. Flores joined Arsenal's academy ranks in 2019 and represented Mexico for the first time at youth level in the same year. In March last year, Goal.com named him in their NXGN 2022 list of the 50 best youngsters in world football at number 49. The excellent 19-year-old Arsenal talent spent last season on loan at Real Oviedo in Spain and won 3 caps for El Terry. He received rave reviews during his time in Spain last season, and there was even a suggestion Arsenal might recall him. Flores never made a senior appearance for the Gunners, but he did feature on the bench against Crystal Palace in 2022. Though his Arsenal adventure seems to be coming to an end, Flores looks like a top talent who will go on to achieve great things. £120,000 a week Arsenal star gets 5 out of 10 rating for lightest international outing. Arsenal captain Martin Odegaard was in action for Norway on Thursday afternoon. The Gunners' star was sensational last season and has picked up from where he left off. Odegaard has scored 2 Premier League goals and captained Arsenal to 3 wins and a draw. The 24-year-old's efforts have helped the Gunners go up to 5th in the table, just 2 points behind Manchester City. Odegaard also captains the Norwegian national team, having already crossed the half-century mark in terms of caps. On Thursday, the Arsenal star skippered his nation to a 6-0 friendly win over Jordan at Olsos Stadium. Norway were taking on a nation ranked 82 in the world, and ultimately it proved a fairly routine victory. That said, several players in the home country's team weren't particularly outstanding, including the Gunners' ace. Norwegian outlet Nettavisen gave Odegaard a 5 out of 10 rating for his effort against the Jordanians. They wrote, operated in a slightly higher starting position than we may have been used to seeing him in the national team recently, came up with several half chances before the break, before he missed a big chance after just under half an hour, an average match for the national team captain, who was rested for the last half hour. Ultimately, the key thing for Odegaard, Arsenal and Norway is that the player emerged through the match unscathed. The £120,000 a week Gunners Stars nation next comes up against Georgia in Euro 2024 qualifying on Tuesday, 12 September. Then, Odegaard will return for Arsenal to take on Everton away in the Premier League on Sunday, 17 September. Pundit says Aston Villa have a player who is better than £100,000 a week Arsenal man. As ever, the England squad has divided opinion among football fans in this country. Debates are being raged over the inclusions of Harry Maguire, Calvin Phillips, and Jordan Henderson, while there is also a debate about the three Lions striking options right now. Nketiah has earned his first senior call-up this time around, but there is an argument to make that only Watkins deserved that spot ahead of Nketiah. Speaking on TalkSport 2, Adrian Clark has now weighed in on the Watkins versus Nketiah debate, and he says that the Aston Villa man is actually better than the £100,000 a week Arsenal ace. Clark gave his verdict on the two strikers. He said, I think his form has been very good this season, Nketiah. Based on form, you can find a reason to put him in the squad. Is he as good as Ollie Watkins in the here and now? I'm not sure. Watkins is further down the line, so I'm surprised he is not in the squad. Callum Wilson isn't in the team at Newcastle, so there is a gap there. Eddie can play a bit like Kane. He can hold the ball really nicely and drop into the pockets the way that Harry does. He is 24, he is not a kid. Clark is probably right. Watkins may well be the better player than Nketiah, but we can't help but think that this is a tactical selection from Gareth Southgate. Edin Nketiah is also eligible to play for Ghana, should he wish to, and with the striker showing so much promise this season, Southgate surely won't want to lose the striker going forwards. Selecting Nketiah this time is a sign of faith from Southgate, and it may well help secure this striker's long-term international future. Report claims La Liga outfit are keeping tabs on £110,000 a week Arsenal man. Barcelona are reportedly keeping tabs on the Arsenal midfielder Jorginho. A report from Mundo Deportivo claims that Barcelona are hoping to bring in midfield reinforcement and they are looking to sign someone who can control the tempo of the game. The Spanish club are looking at a number of midfielders, and the 31-year-old Arsenal midfielder happens to be one of the options on their shortlist. The Italian international midfielder has dropped down the pecking order at Arsenal since the arrival of Declan Rice earlier this summer. His contract with the English club ends in 2024, and he could be snapped up on a bargain during the January transfer window. Alternatively, he could move to Barcelona on a free transfer next summer. Jorginho will be eligible to secure a pre-contract agreement with foreign clubs during the winter transfer window as well. The 31-year-old has proven his quality in Italy and England. There is no doubt that he could prove to be a useful acquisition for Barcelona as well. The Spanish outfit are going through financial difficulties, and signing an experienced midfielder like Jorginho for a knockdown price could be a tempting option for them. The opportunity to play for one of the biggest clubs in the world is likely to attract the £110,000 a week midfielder as well. Levy Colwill, wowed by £80 million striker, Arsenal reportedly want to sign. Arsenal have been linked with a move for Ivan Toney in recent months, and even though the English transfer window has shut, the Gunners remain linked with the Brentford ace. Sami Muqbil, speaking on the Mail's transfer deadline live stream, claimed Toney is on the Arsenal radar. He said, I understand those overtures over a possible deal next summer have already taken place. Ivan Toney is certainly on Arsenal's radar. It's not surprising to hear that the Gunners are reportedly eyeing the 27-year-old. Toney has enjoyed a spectacular career trajectory at the highest level over the past few years. He has 68 goals and 21 assists for Brentford since joining them in September 2020. Last season, Toney bagged 20 goals and 4 assists in 33 Premier League games for the Bees. The player is currently unavailable for selection. In May, he was banned from football for 8 months. This was in wake of a guilty verdict in relation to 232 betting breaches as per Sky Sports. Now, Levy Colwill has admitted that Toney is the most difficult opponent he has faced so far. The Chelsea defender admits he walked away from last season's battle against Toney feeling like he had a lot to learn. Was there a moment when you were really given a lesson? Colwell was asked, as quoted by the Express. He responded, "Yeah, I think Ivan Toney last season. I was playing decent football last season and I came up against him and it was a lot different and I had to learn from it quickly. I had to give myself a little chat and say, you have got something to prove now." The Times reported last month that both Arsenal and Spurs are interested in signing Toney. Brentford, however, will apparently demand £80 million to let him go. That's a lot of money, but obviously the Bees will want to display a hardball stance over their biggest asset. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.